Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and a new month is upon us, so here's everything I picked up on Blu Ray and 4K for October 2021. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, another month is in the books, so it's time to go over everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K for October 2021. Now, if you're a Blu-ray and 4K collector, you know that this previous month was pretty heavy on the wallet, so there were a lot of new releases that are going to be in this video. But I also decided to invest in a few catalog stuff that was already out on Blu-ray and so forth and so on. So there's a little bit of healthy kind of balance between new and old releases. So let's not waste any time. This first one I picked up was the only Criterion Collection Blu-ray for this month. And of course, as of the recording of this video, the new Criterion 50% off sale is now live at Barnes & Noble. So for next month's video, there's going to be a ton more. But for right now, just the one, and that is Oni Baba. This one is pretty cool, I gotta say. I talked about this in my October movie recommendations video, but for those that don't know, it's essentially about a mother-in-law and daughter that are in feudal Japan during wartime, and they prey upon, a rogue samurai that wander around their village in order to survive, so they sell their equipment. Well, they kill them and survive, sell all their equipment and everything. And there's some cool stuff that happens in it. When the one woman's dead husband's friend comes, deserts and comes back from war and everything. It's a whole story, but I don't want to. It's got great visuals. It's a fantastic movie, and I would recommend you pick this up during a sale. It's really fantastic film, and I recommend this one highly. This one is a movie that I like science fiction, but I also like some good old school stuff. When it comes to stories. And I know this is a newer film, and it's not the original, which that's actually on my wish list. I'm going to invest in the original, but The Time Machine, starring Guy Pearce. I like this one a lot. I think it has some great visuals for the time, and I always love good time travel stories, and it has like that Victorian setting, and I really enjoy it. I think it's actually very cool, and I was very happy that they announced this one to come to Blu-ray. So very happy that we finally have a Blu-ray edition of The Time Machine starring Guy Pearce. This one is a favorite of mine among director James Gunn's works. And strangely enough, I never owned the Blu-ray, but I thought I would finally invest in the Blu-ray, and I'm glad I did. I added this to my Halloween watch list video. But Slither, this movie's great. This is, old school James Gunn, really back then, and has some great stuff. It's got some good cast to it, Michael Rooker. I love the guy. But yeah, this one's a lot of fun, and it really holds up. I think it's a fantastic, scary, funny movie, and it just has some good stuff to it. And I think the transfer on this is also really good. Maybe one day we'll get a 4K edition of this. I would definitely buy that. But yeah, Slither is finally in my collection. This next one was a new release actually in theaters, and it's a good, I would say it's a good thriller horror film, and that is Rebecca Hall in The Night House. This one I think was a welcome surprise. It was really good. It was shot very well. It's a great location, and Rebecca Hall does a great job in her role. It's spooky. It has some good atmosphere to it, and I recommend it. If you're looking for some new, I would say, really good horror film, definitely check this one out. It's not that it doesn't have its problems, but I think they are far outweighed by what's positive. And I enjoy this one. I would have really liked a 4K edition of this. I think it would have really brought out the black levels very deeply. They're slightly elevated, I feel, in this feature, but I mean, for the most part, it's a great film, and if you want a physical copy of it, The Night House is on Blu-ray. This one was also a good old school, it's funny, I use the word old school, but it's like, within my lifetime, but it's a good, Harrison Ford role when he's not, quite his, good guy persona. What Lies Beneath is also another release from Paramount that came out on Blu-ray for the first time, in addition to The Time Machine. I like this one a lot. I'm glad that we have a physical copy now out there in the wild, and It kind of goes with the whole Halloween spooky theme. I like it, but it's also something that, you know, you're not expecting. I think it has a lot of great moments to it. So yeah, I would recommend you pick this one up at some point. But yeah, What Lies Beneath is on Blu-ray. This one was a recommendation. A couple friends of mine were talking about it, and I'd never seen it. But they told me it was really good, and it's also got a great, you know, great cast. That is Detroit. Now, I have not seen this one yet. I'm going to go ahead and watch it in the next couple of weeks. I'll do a write-up over on Letterboxd and let you know my thoughts about it. But yeah, Detroit is on Blu-ray, and I got a really good deal for it. So yeah, I thought, why not? This one was... it's not that there was any reason I never owned it, but it just, I was never out in a rush to own a physical copy of this. But I also do a podcast every week, you know, every weekend. It's called Make Remake, and we were doing Halloween and Rob Zombie's Halloween, and I never owned Rob Zombie's Halloween. So there it is. I got it for like pretty good price. We did the podcast. It was a lot of fun. If you want to check that out, I will go ahead and leave a link for that in the description of the video. But yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween, you know, it's actually, I think it has its own spin on it. While it's not perfect, I still really enjoy it. I think it differentiates itself from the original quite a bit. And I think it's fun. I still don't like the second one, but this one I think works quite well. And yeah, I have the Blu-ray of it now. One good turn deserves another when it comes to Rob Zombie. Now, this one I owned a long time ago on Blu-ray, and I think what happened was there was a problem with the disc, and I couldn't exchange it at the time, so I never bothered picking it up again. But I'm like, you know what? It's October. Why not? I was already picking up Halloween. House of a Thousand Corpses. I also picked up The Devil's Rejects. That still hasn't shown up. I never owned a copy of that one, but I've seen it. But yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses. I think, honestly, this is a great, like, you know, I would say good, you know, scary house movie. Like, it's not a haunted house per se, but it's just like a the creepiness factor is, you know, dialed up to 100 in this film. And I think it's one of the better Rob Zombie flicks out there. It's one of his earlier ones. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's his first one, feature film. But yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses is on my Blu-ray collection now. And this one I was, you know, I seen it and I really liked it. And that is Nomadland. I like this one a lot. Just for circumstances, whatever, I just didn't pick this up on initial release, but I got a good deal for it. Finally wanted to own this one. And I know they have a 4K digital version of this one, but you know, physical copies are important. So yeah, Nomadland on Blu-ray. I would recommend this movie highly if you haven't seen it. It's got great performance in this one. So yeah, check that one out. And this one was another one. I was hoping for a 4K of this one, at least internationally, and they announced that the French version was going to be in 4K, and then I started seeing reports that there weren't any English subtitles in some of the roles. So for me, that kind of kills the potential to import it. So I broke down, I finally got the Blu-ray, and that is Wrath of Man from director Guy Ritchie. I still have not seen this one yet. This one is a complete blind buy. I will do a write-up for it on Letterboxd, but I am really looking forward to it. It's probably going to be within a matter of a few days when I actually do get to watch this one. So I'm excited to check this one out on Blu-ray. There were a ton of new 4K Ultra HD releases this month, and just a quick note, chances are, if you see something here, I have done a review for it. So check out the channel if you want to hear my thoughts on it. So let's dive right in. This one, I really enjoyed it in the theater. I always enjoy good A24 films. I think they have a very solid track record. I enjoy what they put out. And I was very nervous this was not going to get a 4K disc. Because I think visually this would have definitely benefited, and it does. That is The Green Knight on 4K. Love this film. I would say it's probably in my top 10 of the year. And I remember watching it in theaters, and just because of the quality of the theater, like it just looked not great visually. But on 4K, this looks fantastic. If you have a good 4K setup, you are going to be in for a treat here. I think this one has a great visual palette to it, and the story is fantastic. You know, I know I've heard criticisms about it, but you know what? Put all that stuff aside. It's a good, Arthurian legend, and I think it has some great stuff to it. And if you're a fan of A24 films, I recommend The Green Knight on 4K. This one was a blind buy, and just the cast alone, I think, sold me. I had a feeling it was going to be, at least quality in that regard. The Protege on 4K from Lionsgate's. Good film. It's an action thriller, assassination kind of film. It's no more, no less. I feel it's fun. It has, once again, a great cast to it. And I think it's got breathtaking pictures. I think the picture quality here, I believe I gave it an A+ in my scoring. It's great. So if you've never seen it, I would say give it a try. I think, go in with that kind of mindset that it's just kind of that kind of movie. I think you'll enjoy yourself. So yeah, The Protege is on 4K. This is the latest ever from director M. Night Shyamalan. That is Old, and of course the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook edition here. I feel it's a good Shyamalan flick. It's not his best. I think, I don't know that if that's ever going to happen again from the director, but it's good. I would say it's mid-tier, slightly upper tier as far as his, catalog goes, but a 4K Steelbook edition of this one, it's good. It's got some great picture and audio quality. Yeah, if you're a fan of the director, I would definitely check that one out. This one is actually it's a blind purchase. I haven't watched it yet, but I will be doing a review for the channel. Day of the Beast. This one, it looked very interesting, and I've heard some great things about it. So I won't spend too much time on it because I haven't seen it yet, but I will do a write-up on Letterboxd for this one and look for a review on the picture and audio on the channel. This next one is from director Quentin Tarantino, and I did, of course, a review for the channel, so check that one out. It is the Steelbook edition of Inglorious Bastards. I'm a big fan of the director. This is one of my favorite of his films, and I really enjoyed it. I think the 4K edition is very good. I know there were, a lot of, divisive opinions of the transfer and everything, and, everybody's entitled to that. But I thought it was a good upgrade, and it's well worth your investment in my opinion. But yeah, Inglorious Bastards is on 4K Ultra HD. This one was from Kino Lorber, and it is from director Rob Reiner, Misery on 4K Ultra HD. I really like this one. I think it's one of my favorite Rob Reiner films, and it's a good Stephen King story. Great performances from James Caan and Kathy Bates. Yeah, this one is awesome, and I think Kino Lorber did a really good job on the 4K disc. This one is a sequel to a crazy thriller horror film. That is Don't Breathe 2. Just did a review for this one on the channel. It's got some good. It's an okay follow-up to the first one. It's got its own thing going on, and they slightly alter the formula a little bit. But if you're a fan of the film, the 4K disc is definitely the way to go. I think the black levels are excellent on this one. But yeah, and the Atmos I feel is really solid. So yeah, check this one out. Don't Breathe 2 on 4K. This is the latest from the DC animated features. The way DC Animation's been going lately, I'm kind of taking it on a case-by-case basis. But this one is based off the video game franchise, which I'm a huge fan of, and I wanted to give this one a shot, and that is Injustice, Steelbook Edition, exclusive to Best Buy. I feel overall it's an okay film, but I think this one should have definitely been a series, at least maybe 2 or 3 movies to really flesh it out. The way it ends, it was weird. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the ending, but I think, if you're a fan of Injustice, you'll probably find some stuff to really enjoy here. But I could see where people would be disappointed. But yeah, for the DC animated films, Injustice is now on 4K. This one I did a review also for the channel, and it's got a weird color space issue the first 20 minutes or so. The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, it's what it is. I think if after that first 20 minutes, the rest of the movie's great. It's a great 4K transfer, and I think it's also a very good movie. Of course, Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins in iconic roles. I think it's a really cool, film, and it is what it is on 4K. But yeah, Kino Lorber did this one, so if you're really a huge fan of it, maybe do some research before picking up the 4K of that one. This one also met with a little bit of a production delay, and it comes in a standard edition as well as a steelbook, not exclusive to Best Buy, and that is the original Scream 25th anniversary of this. Wow, do I feel old? This one still holds up. I was really, really kind of excited to revisit this one again, and I think the 4K transfer is very cinematic. It looks great, and there's a lot going on, I think, visually that really benefit from the HDR grading. It's really cool on this one. But yeah, for me, I think either version, the steelbook or the slipcover, are equally impressive in their own way. But me being a steelbook collector, I really enjoyed the visual on this one. So yeah, that was my pickup of choice. This one is the latest from director James Gunn, and that is The Suicide Squad. I gave this one a perfect score because it's just visually and audio-wise perfect. Like, it's reference quality. It's probably a contender for 4K disc of the year. I could definitely see that in the running, but I like this one. It's a hard R-rated film, superhero villain type story, and I had a little bit of an issue with a couple characters in this one. But I think that overall, the movie's great, and it's a lot of fun, and if you are a fan of James Gunn, there's a lot to enjoy here with The Suicide Squad. The Steelbook edition, I feel is really cool. It's also, I really like the cover. I think it's awesome, and yeah, I recommend this one highly. There were some great old school horror thriller releases for this month, and there's a lot to talk about, so yeah. This one is Frankenstein, the original Universal Classics monster series. Fantastic. I haven't watched the 4K edition yet, but I am a big fan of the movie, and I think the steelbooks are top form. And of course, the 4 movies of the collection all came out in one set, but I prefer individual titles. And for me, the steelbook editions were definitely the way to go. This one is another classic, The Wolfman. Love this. I love it. It's got great atmosphere to it, and very cool. It's very cool to have this one on 4K. And of course, Dracula, the original. What can I say? I did a review for this one on the channel. I thought it was a very good upgrade, and classic, Universal monsters, I don't feel get a whole lot of love these days, but you know what? The 4K discs of this, I think, really are a step in the right direction. Hopefully we'll see more in the next year or so. But yeah, Dracula, definitely check that one out. And of course, there was a whole thing with the Scream Factory releasing the Halloween films. There were delays, but not delays. Like, some people got the first couple movies in late September. I was able to get the original Halloween in the late September, and it's in that video. But the firm release date was October 5th. So yeah, these are great. I went with Halloween 2. I feel it's a very good sequel to the original. I think I just watched it recently again, and this one's great. And I think Scream Factory did a great job with these transfers, and the casing on this is really just very nice. And of course, the underrated gem, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Love this one. I've always loved this one. It's so moody and atmospheric, and once again, Scream Factory, the transfer on this one is just, I feel, worthy of it. And it's got a great 4K just presentation. So yeah, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, recommend this one highly. Another great release on 4K this month is from Universal, and that is Al Pacino in Carlito's Way. This one is a great presentation. I think Universal did a fantastic job and did the movie justice. It's a good Brian De Palma flick. Picture quality and audio are fantastic on this one. I'm a big fan of the movie. I'm very happy that this got a 4K and it was done right. I think this one is just really great, and I recommend it highly. This one actually came out in late September, but it didn't technically arrive until the 1st of this month, so it counts. I also did a review for the channel on that one, and that is Children of the Corn on 4K. It's a good upgrade. It's not perfect. It has just, it has just one, age issues to it, whatever. But if you're a fan of the film, I recommend Children of the Corn on 4K. I think the upgrade is worthwhile. And, it still has that creepy children element to it, which always makes for a good horror film. But yeah. And also, I'm not really a huge fan of the sequels, but, who knows, one day maybe they'll come out on 4K. I may revisit them if that happens. But the original Children of the Corn is now out on 4K. This one I saw in theaters. It was a very nice. I was kind of expecting some good stuff about it, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And that is Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy. A lot of fun. This movie's a lot of fun. It's a good time at the theater, and at home, it's got a great presentation. I think it really just stands out. And it's, you know, if you're somebody that likes some good pop culture, video game stuff, I think you'll definitely enjoy it. And also some great acting in this one. Taika Waititi has a small role in it, but he's always great in pretty much everything he does. But I like this one a lot. So yeah, Free Guy is on 4K. This one, I just did a review a couple days ago, and it's, you know, if you're a fan of these films, you will definitely enjoy it. That is the Underworld Collection, all 5 movies in one collection, and I think Sony did a really great job with this set. I think it's very solid. It's got, you know, it's very durable, and it's also got individual slipcovers for the editions. So if you're a fan of these movies, I highly recommend it. It's got great atmos, and the picture quality is very, very good. So yes, you know, run, don't walk. Get the Underworld 5 movie collection. And finally, the big release for this past month. I'm a big fan of collector's editions, especially when they come in, you know, little separate editions also within the case. The Columbia Classics Collection, Volume 2. Beautiful, beautiful case. I did a review for several of the movies in the collection. And if you're a fan of even, I would say, 3 or 4 of these movies, definitely pick this one up. I am very happy with Sony that they did such a great presentation. It's got a good book to it. It talks about the films. And I think the film choices are also really, really solid here. It makes me just kind of wonder what a Volume 3 would look like. I'll probably do a video about that in the future. Maybe I'll wait till the first of the year to do that one. But yeah, if you're a fan of Sony and good stuff, this one is great. I highly recommend it. It is worth the price of admission. Taxi Driver is great on 4K. The Social Network, Sense and Sensibility, Stripes, I think they really are all solid. And, you know, yes, this one is absolutely one of my favorite pickups for October of 2021. Okay, so that is everything I picked up for this previous month of October. Now it's your turn in the comments section below. Let me know what you picked up and what are you looking forward to for November. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.